Hey everyone, I'm doing a doormat. These are the Coir doormats. This one is a special size. It's a 16 by 24, so it's a good size for campers. So this is actually marine grade vinyl. This is the 751, and I'm using this vinyl just because I had enough of it in one solid roll to cut out my stencils, because I'm actually doing 2 mats, so I had to have almost 40 inches of vinyl. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. I'm using contact paper as my transfer paper because it's a little less sticky than the transfer paper that I have. And as you can see, I have these little marks up here. So whenever I mapped it out on my silhouette program, I knew that I wanted 2 inches on the sides and 2 inches on the top. So that's why I have these tapes here, so that way I can just line everything up right. And then I'm just going to make sure that I have everything even. Lay it down. Pulling it up is probably the most annoying part, because it really doesn't want to stick to the mat. Nothing wants to stick to this stuff. So I just rub it down as good as I can, and then I just carefully pull it up. Cursive letters or cursive words is a lot harder than just print, so keep that in mind whenever you're doing your first one. Now this contact paper I got in a pretty big roll at Home Depot. I don't remember how much it was, but I think it was less than $10 for a pretty big roll. And I've actually used this contact paper as a stencil, and also as a transfer paper. So you can probably see that I'm missing my centers. They're all right here. I always just go back in and put those in with my tweezers. Make sure you flatten everything down. And then I will take my heat gun, and I will heat up the vinyl because it makes it stick better. It's almost like it melts it onto there. It doesn't melt it onto there, but it makes it really stick. So you don't want to hold on for too long. So basically, I hold it over for a second and press down. Hold it for a second and press down. So. Okay, so if you can see right here, this line right here is very thin, so I'm going to put some tape right here, because whenever I'm dabbing my paint onto here, I don't want to accidentally go over. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit more room to work in. like that. And And I'm actually probably going to go all the way down that side, because this is very thin. Somehow my tape got cut into all these little pieces. So just look around, like over here, that's kind of pushing it. I might put a piece over there just to keep myself safe. And then down here, I'm just going to put this over here. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to make sure everything is laid down again, just to be sure. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my paints. You'll want to use, I use the Apple Barrel Black, and it's a an outdoor paint. I need to find a brush. Okay, normally I use those cheap 88-cent brushes from Walmart, but I can't seem to find one. So I'm just going to try it with this sponge brush and hope it works. Alright, so I just get a little bit on my brush. I know it's kind of hard to see because the brush is black. And then I just dab it. Yeah, I don't think this brush is going to work. Okay, nope, this is not going to work. I'm going to throw this away. And I'll be back. I'm going to go find a brush. Okay, found a brush. This came, I think it's like a 3-pack from the Dollar Tree. You don't have to worry about it bleeding because this material soaks it up and it does not go anywhere. It stays right where you put it. Okay, one other thing I wanted to mention is when you are putting your paint on, sometimes you just have to move your brush different ways to get it really down in there. And sometimes you may even have to go over it more than once. By the time I get to the end of this, I will go back and go over it again. So I don't usually have a dry time in between. I just go back pretty much as soon as I'm finished to do the rest of it, because this dries, the acrylic paint dries super fast. So okay, so as you can see, I'm just tapping it in like this. I'll turn my brush and go this way with it. Sometimes I'll really just get in there and dig in it. This brush is pretty much straight across. I prefer the 88-cent brushes from Walmart because they're a little more jagged, so I feel like it gets into the rug a little bit better, but I don't have any of those brushes, I guess. And so just going with this. Alright, so I'm going to finish this and then I will come back as soon as I'm finished to see how I pull everything up. Okay, so I'm completely finished. I went over the entire thing 2 times and now we're going to remove the vinyl. So at this point you're going to want to make sure you have a trash can close by and maybe even a paper towel or a rag or something, because the paint on the vinyl is still very wet. So I am going to pull this up. The whole thing is not dry yet, but I'm going to pull it up anyways. Okay. So now I'm going to hold the paper towel and grab my tweezers, and I'm going to go through and pull out all the centers of the letters. I hope you can see that. Missed one. There was one spot over here where the center of my letter got stuck to my brush, and I ended up dabbing, and paint pretty much got into that space. So I'll show you how I handle that as well. Okay, so I think I got them all. Alright, so now with the center, which is way over here, I'm going to try to bring it closer without getting paint on everything. Okay, so the this P right here, it should have like 2 holes in it, and this one right here kind of got away from me, so I'm just going to try cutting it out a little bit where the other hole is supposed to be. Basically, I'm just cutting the paint off the top of the rug, or off the tips of this, whatever this stuff is. And that pretty much gets it. And that's pretty much it. So now I'll just leave this sitting here, and it'll be completely dry by morning. And that's all there is to it.